Absolute change, new minus old. Okay, number 2. For the city of Fort Wayne, the rate is 646 in 2013 and 546 in 2004. Now we're finding relative change from 2004 to 2013. Relative change is no new minus old over old. And be careful, identify the new and the old. So 2004 would be our old. Even though that's not chronologically the old, we have to go with the from as the old, the to is the new. Okay. So now we fill in the blanks. Oh, this one is correct chronologically. Sorry, it's the next one that's not. So we have the new minus the old over the old.
This is pretty easy.
You just got to take the time to label it because you'll get them turned around if you don't. We get 0.183, but they want it as a percent, so 18.3%. Okay. Now the next one is the one that is not in chronological order. From 2013 to 2014. So now 2013 is the old and the new is 2004. And all they want is absolute change. New minus old. So all we have is minus 100. Okay. Just got to know the vocabulary, know your formulas, and label them. Okay. Ready for your quiz questions? Practice quiz questions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Try number 2. That is from this section. Okay. Our new has to be Muncie. From Evansville to Muncie. Old is Evansville. New is Muncie. Relative change, new minus old over old. Then multiply 100 to make it a percent. So we have new 780 minus old Evansville, which is 854, divided by 854. Negative, oops, there's a 0 there. Boom, boom. 8.7%. Okay, those of you that had a different answer, do you see what you did? You need to label. Okay. Now try number 5, sample quiz question. And practice writing sentences because those are the high point test questions. Okay, so Boone is our old, Allen is our new. New minus old divided by old. Madison's changing her mind. Let's see. Make it a percent, move the decimal or two places right or multiply by 100. Anybody get negative 17.6%? You see it now? Now comes the sentence. The median income in Allen County in 2011 was about 17.6% less than Boone County. Questions? We ready to move on to the next section? Can you hear me? I just got a message popped up that said my audio is degraded, the audio quality.
I can hear you.
I've never had that pop up before. Okay. The next section is percent increase and decrease. Okay. Closely related to relative change. Okay. Percent increase and decrease. If we go back, remember when we use proportions to find percents, we did is over of equals percent over 100. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Is and of was a key word that was sometimes there, but it meant the part you're considering to the whole you're comparing it to. Well, now we're going to have some other keywords or key things to consider. A lot of times there's a new amount and you're comparing it to an old amount. Okay. And the percent is going to be a 100 plus a percent increase or a 100 minus a percent decrease over 100. Could also be, instead of just new or old, sometimes you have an original price and a sale price, or an original price and a price plus a tax after a tax. Okay. Recognizing the numerator as the part and the whole as the denominator is key. If you can translate your text into blank is blank percent of and use this proportion, you'll get these right every time. Okay? If you just try to multiply and divide, you'll get about half of them right. Because when you're missing the whole and you're given the part, people won't get them right. Okay? Because you don't always just multiply by a decimal. Okay? So if you start to use the proportion and you'll do it the way I'm going to teach you, even though it seems longer, you'll get them right every time if you will try it and follow this method. Okay? So let's start out with the quiz review here. A book is marked 40% off. So we start off with set up your proportion. You got your free spot right here. When you see marked 40% off, a percent increase or decrease, you go 100 and then it's plus or minus. This is off, so it is minus 40. So we're not going to use the 40. What percent are we going to use? What's 100 minus 40? We're going to use 60%. Okay. Now, we have a new and an old, or an original and a new. They're giving us an original price, $15.64. They want to know what's the sale price. So this is our X, this is our old, this is our new. And I know a lot of you are saying, I could just go 0.6 times this. Yes, you can. These ones you get right every time. The other ones you'll miss almost every time. If you follow this method, you'll find it'll work every time. Multiply the diagonal without a variable. Divide by the diagonal with a variable. 15.64 times 60 divided by 100, and we get 938. Okay. Got that one? Here comes the one people would miss. Okay. What do you think on this one? And then I will show you, if you follow my method, how easy it is. Okay. You start out with your proportion and your free spot. If it's increasing 6%, is that a plus or a minus? An increase. Thank you, Madison. 100 plus 6. So we have 106%. And this is saying 242.5%. What was the percent prior? So is this the new amount or the old amount? If it increased to this amount and they're asking you what was it prior, this is our new. We're looking for the old. New over old. So where does the 42.5 go? The numerator or the denominator?
Denominator.
Where's the new?
I mean top. Sorry, top.
Yep.
My bad.
If you follow this method, you'll get them right every time. Multiply and then divide. nearest 1/10%. This moves the decimal for you. You don't even have to move the decimal. And I guarantee you 90% of the people, if you didn't do this, would get that one wrong. Whenever you're missing the denominator, people will get them wrong. Okay, try number 4. Okay, what goes right here? Do we pay a tax or do they give us the money back? We pay it. So it's 100 plus 7.4, 107.4. This was the price after the tax. So this is the new. The menu price was the old one before the tax. Okay. So 15.64 and X. Multiply and then divide. $14.56. Okay. If you practice this way, it becomes much easier breaking down these word problems. Okay, on to your homework. These first ones, this is a little tricky. These are review ones. We'll come back to them. I want to keep practicing what we're doing right now. Okay, try 5. You're paying the tax. This is the price now. How much will you pay will be the new price. So this is actually the old. This is after the tax. So this is 9.5. This is X. Multiply and then divide. $10.17. And yes, that's a straightforward one. But unfortunately, if you don't tend to do them all this way, you don't get the other ones right. Okay. Try 7. This time we have something marked off. So it's 100 minus 35. So you're paying 65%. This is the original. You're looking for the new price. Multiply, then divide. 1918. Okay, questions? Try 9. Okay, you're looking for the original. So that's the old. This is the new. $33.93. Questions? Okay, try number 8. There is no class next week. You only have Monday classes. The break is Tuesday through Friday or Saturday. So you only have Monday classes. We do not have any sync meetings next week.
Awesome.
What about the second part of number 9?
There a second part of number 9? Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. If gas prices are now $4.38 and they were up 12%, so that's a 100 plus. So that's 112. 6 months ago is our old. Okay, so we have 4.38 times 100 divided by 112. 3.91. Okay. Population has increased 35%. So we're adding 35 to 100. When it was, so that's our old, and we'll just use the word million. What is its population today? So that's the new. So multiply and then divide. To the nearest hundredth. So I've got 8.0865. So it'd be 8.09 million. Okay. Number 6 is a crazy, crazy question. Has anybody done number 6? It has so much text in here. You just have to go through it, the entire thing. It's got all kinds of different things and dates. In 2012, water consumption increased to 9.67 billion gallons, up from 9.1 billion gallons in 2011. In fact, it grew at its strongest in 5 years, so we don't need that. That's of no use. In addition, per capita consumption is up 5.3%, with every person drinking an average of 30.8 gallons last year. It increased in absolute value more than any other beverage in the U.S. by 6.7%, a total of 11.8 billion. Shoo! Quantify the bottled water consumption increase from 2011 to 2012 in terms of relative change. Express your answer as a percent rounded to the nearest tenth of a percent. So 2011 is my old. And 2012 is my new. And they wanted water consumption was the first sentence here. Okay, absolute or relative change. Just come down here. New minus old over old. So 9.67 billion minus 9.1 billion over 9.1 billion is going to be, the billions are going to cancel. That's going to equal 0.0626, which would be 6.3%. Okay. Part 2 just asks for absolute change from 2011 to 2012. So that was new minus old. 5.7 billion. And part 3 I couldn't read, it got cut off on there. Okay, you just got to break that whole thing down and figure out what they want. Okay, back to the review questions on the front. Okay, the first one, they asked you to express the number of measles cases has increased 13.2% since 2000. Express your answer rounded to the nearest hundredth. Stated another way, the number of measles cases is blank times what it was in 2000. Okay, so it is, you have 100% plus the 13.2%. How many times more than that is than 100%? So you just take the 113.2 divided by 100. It's just like how many times bigger is the miles to the one planet than the other. And we get 1.13. Okay. The number of measles cases was blank percent of what it is now. Okay, so now would be 100% and divide that by 113.2 and you get 0.8833, 88.3%. It's just writing it another way, flipping it around, where 100% is present day and the 113.2 is the increase, 100 plus the 13.2. Okay. This one is a review one. If you earn $34.50 per month and you expect your earnings to increase by 4.4% per year, how much do you think you will make in 4 years? So this is a yearly compound interest. Principal is $34.50. Our rate 0.044. Our time is 4 years and n is 1. This can be to the nt, but these are just 1. So we have 3450 times 1 plus 0.044 to the power of 4. Remember your calculator work. It's been a couple of weeks since you put these in your calculator. You used Excel the last couple weeks. And we get 4,098.46. Okay. According to the article in the New York Times, sales in standard plastic bottles grew at a rate of more than 14% every quarter from 93 to 2010. How many quarters are there from 93 to 2010? Well, how many years is that? That's 17 years. Quarters is 4, so 17 times 4 is 68 quarters. For sales to increase 14% per quarter from the beginning of 93 to the beginning of 2010, how much of an overall increase is that? Express your answer rounded correctly to the nearest whole number, not in percent form. Okay? So a 14% increase would be 1. Let's do 1 plus 0.14. Okay? To the 68, 1.14. Okay. 7405. All right. So that's not even a percent. That would be moving it 2 places after that. Any questions? I think we've been through the entire homework now. And the quiz questions. Nathaniel, I will go back and look. Did you send me an email or you put it back in the...
I submitted it through the dash,
Okay.
the thingy.
There, it's not like Blackboard was very good. It came up with a big exclamation mark. This just turns it a slightly different color, so I could have missed that submission. I will go back
Yeah,
and
no
look.
problem. It's all right. I submitted the paper and I forgot to add the thing to it.
Let me look. Hopefully, I
Yeah.
just missed the slightly different color, so
All
I will
right.
go look.
Thank you.
Any other any questions from anybody? Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you.